Did Yahuah command or give us new letters? Qadashayam of Yasharal. Okay, so this would be the name of the Father in the original pictographs. Yod-He-Uah. This is the modern. I believe this is defiled. Okay? This is basically how I understand this. You have the original 22 letters that came from Yahuwah's own finger, and over the course of time, they became replaced with the paleos and a blending of other confused tongues. This is post-Babylon, post-Babel, the Tower of Babel. Okay? And this normalized that we would just change them and it's no big deal, like all the scholars and academics say now, that it doesn't hurt anything. And then once you get into the modern, they started to do the vowel points, which allowed them to create new pronunciations for words and to get new definitions for words. So they'll take the same 3 Abrith letters. If you go in my other videos, you'll see me spend more time on this. But in my understanding of Abrith, those 3 letters could basically only be pronounced one day. For example, Qadash. Not Kodesh, Qadash, because you have to use the letters that he gave us. You think about any other language in the world, it has its own letters, and those, and now English is, see how it has all these different rules and all these different pronunciations and all these little I after E, and except for Z, whatever. I never did well at that stuff at school, and I thank the Father for that, because it's all confusion. And we know he is not the author of confusion. Okay? So this is the Qadash way for us to express the name of the Father. Yod-He-Uah. I wanted to have that on there. Great and big. Okay? I tried to find it. Please let me know if you know. I tried to find an emoji pack or a keyboard app extension, whatever, that would allow me to use the pictos, these old ancient letters, and I cannot. So if any of you out there know of something, please let me know. Basically, what sparked all this too was here recently, I made a post on my Facebook page, Watchman Yarma Yahu Ban Shamuan, or son of Simeon, they call it. I am convinced that modern Hebrew is of Hashatan. There was actually a lot of people in agreement and sharing some very, very great comments. However, there's always the mockers and the scoffers, right? And so this is what I wanted to share. This person, I don't really know this person. Oh, look at what I just did. I skipped a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure how to get back to where I was, so please bear with me. Like I said, give some patience and understanding to your brother, because I am just your brother out here trying to do the best I can, trying to use this modern technology to accomplish something when it's just all for wickedness. So he said, what kind of mess and what examples you got? Okay? I did answer this person's question in all sincerity, the best I could, and then later I saw that he went and posted my original post and something about more lies, but never shared with anybody what my answer to his question was. So be like this: Yahuwah wrote 22 letters with his own finger, perfect and undefiled pictographs. Wicked man changed that paleo, which was the gateway, to the modern with vowel points. Yahuwah never gave us vowel points. He never gave us paleo either. They are lying scribes, adding and taking away. You guys know how Yahusha was talking about jots and tittles, right? A lot of people know about that. But that's any little marks or ways that they change the letters. I'm going to show you something else about that too in just a second. Don't let me forget. Exodus chapter 20 talks about applying your tools to the stones, changing them, okay, like masons, okay, but just keep the stone undefiled. And this is foundational for the understanding that Yahuwah showed to me about genetically modified foods even, okay? Consider this. Yahuwah said, when you make an altar unto me, use earthen stones. And if you apply your tool to it, then it is defiled and an abomination unto me. Thus says Yahuwah. Well, it was the very next thing. I'm sorry. I said, remind me, but it literally just did. So that's in Exodus 20. And at the end, let's go there right now. Oh, I wanted to actually do that on here. I'm so sorry. So, oh, look, we're already on. Just go back a couple and then go down to the bottom. Okay. And if you make, this, it says a slaughtering place of stone. This is an altar. Okay, you got to think about the feasts. At the appointed feasts, we roast meat. Okay, meat is clean food. There technically is no such thing as pork meat. Pork is not food. Swine is not food. Okay, they normalized it at the meat market or whatever over the course of time. And pagan, when I say pagan, I'm talking about people who literally love lawlessness, Luciferian people, witchcraft, witches. They like to consume that stuff, and now it's normal for everybody. And that stuff is replete with parasites. Okay, and in modern day Christianity, I talk to pastors who are like, well, that's because of cooking heats and cooking times, and that doesn't exist anymore. Bogus. It's all bogus. Okay. When you make an altar of stone, do not build it of cut stones. If you use your chisel on it, you have profaned it. I think it is well to go and look at some of the original words here. Let's just take a moment and see what we get. Okay, so this is actually an aleph right here, which is like the sound of Abba, letter A, and they wrote I, right? Asa. Okay, look at all the Yiddish. Mizbe. Okay, an altar of stone. Again, look, it's ABN, Aban, not Eben or any of that E stuff. Okay, just like Esau. If you I'm sorry, Edom. If you go look up Edom, that's literally Adam, Adam. It's an unregenerate man. Been trying to say this, man. People don't want to listen. I don't know what the heck is going on. Yahuwah knows. Hewn stone. Hewn. Okay? Gazith. Gazith. Hewn, wrought, cutting. Cut stones. Okay? So we got to understand what I'm referring to right here. Okay, if you look at any temple, mosque, synagogue, church building, they're all mason. They're all built with masonry. They're all cut stones. Okay, and you go inside, and that's where their altars are. I made a whole video on this. I think it's something like what is idolatry, and I recommend that you watch it if you haven't. See, how am I gonna? Oh, I'm so sorry, family. I know a way. I got to go into my little studio. See, if you search for my video by its name, you will never see it. It's buried. What is idol? This is the video right here, and I did this video a long time ago, you guys. I don't even know if it'll tell me. I might have to go to it to see. Oh, I don't want to use that. But I show all the different references around the world, right, to where they've broken this. All the 501c3s of the world break the commandment. This is, the video is 3 years old. 3 years. Sorry about the dogs. They go crazy whenever someone comes or they think someone's here, anything. I got some kind of community guideline warning. All right, let's keep this moving. There's so much to cover. We really should be doing this together for hours and hours and hours and hours, but people are freaking ADD and they can't pay attention for like 2 minutes. So same principle with tattoos, right? You're not supposed to get tattoos like I did before I knew better, okay? But you're not supposed to get tattoos on your body because your body is a temple. And if you do, you defile the temple, right? And also rounding the corners. Okay, it doesn't mean that I can't trim my beard, but if I shave my beard line, my hairline, then I'm altering what Yahuwah has naturally growing for me. I feel the same way about females and their legs and their underarm hair. And the world is like, what? Because they can't understand the concept or the principle that Yahuwah already made something perfect. Our sisters are already made perfectly. They aren't even supposed to wear makeup. That information came from fallen angels. Okay? They're not supposed to, they don't have to shave their legs. If they want to, if they feel like they need to do that, I'll be like, it's okay. But I want you to know that you can have shalom with this. You don't have to pursue after and chase after the things of the world. You can let yourself be the way that the Father made you. Same principle applies to tattoos and rounding the corner of our hairs and beard. With makeup for females, with the mixing of plants and animals to create something new, GMOs, it's everywhere. Hashatan cannot create. He twists and perverts what Yahuwah creates. See, this guy is saying that I'm a liar, but he won't share what my answer was. That's not fair. That's like bearing false witness. May that help. Shalom, shalom. On my channel, I break down the Abrith etymology, English curse words I often see, and share how the lying scribes create multiple pronunciation and definitions for the same 3-letter words. Okay, and so I talked about that a little bit too. Okay, and I talked about this too. The word Hebrew is 12th century Latin, Romance language. Greek Septuagint is a gateway to confusion, going from Abrith to English, which is a foul-mouthed language. Okay, by the way of Hellenization. And you know, I would like to say how utterly annoyed I am by that dog right now, but that's a different thing. I feel like that's the flesh trying to pull me out of the room. Okay. I see a guy online who tells people not to eat meat. Okay, I think he's a heretic. Gustav. Okay, and he likes to show how these letters appear in these churches in Europe. Okay, those are temples to Baal. Okay, first of all, and also in movies like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and they go ooh and ah and think it's so great. Guys, do you really understand what Hollywood is? What the etymology of the holly and the wand, the spell casting, the broadcasting, the programs, the channels, all that stuff? Okay, the actors. It's nothing clean coming out of there. Nothing. And if they rock that, that lets you know. See, this doesn't actually mean what a lot of people think it means. Should I do it right now, Abba? I'm wondering if I should show you something. I think I will. Then we'll go back. Don't know how well I'll be able to do this right now. So bear with me. And this is in the series, like if you want to go to the actual series. See, I think that the modern letters tell us about this character. Okay? And some of you have heard them say Yahweh. Okay? They have this creature which is like 4 in 1. It's a demonic thing. Let me see. See, Baalzebub, Baal, all this stuff, it's demonic stuff. Anyway, so what those letters mean to them is more like a YHWH, a Yahweh, or a Jehovah. Okay, none of that stuff is pure. None of that stuff is Yahuwah. And so, of course, they're going to put it right out there because, you know, it's their mighty one. It's basically, you know, their foreign mighty one. Okay? Oh, I didn't want that one again. I'm trying to get to this one right here. Here we go. Okay, so this is the Yod He Uah He undefiled. Okay, this is some examples of the pictos. Aleph, Bat, Gamal, Dalit, Hey. This is what I would love to be able to see us get the scriptures in all this. Okay? I see people confusing it. I see people calling this paleo. Okay, this is paleo. Right? This to me is the gateway between the pure letters and the modern. Okay, where they really did damage. So here's just another example of what the ancient letters look like, you guys. I don't think it's rocket science for somebody to look at that and realize that that's the first letters. They try to make fun of this stuff. They try to make this stuff seem like it's caveman stuff. Okay? That's a type of blasphemy. There's no like million-year-old version of man that just came from monkeys and he's like all, you know, low IQ. The ancient peoples were very intelligent. In fact, they were less defiled. They didn't have the toxins and the pollutants. They weren't stunted in their growth and their strength the same ways that we are. They didn't have as much pharmakia influencing them. They didn't have as much strong spell casting going on over them. They were still disobedient, but now we live in a world where it's hard to find anything that's clean, right? In fact, I say this to people too. They make fun of them and they're like, say they talk like this. Ooh, ah, ooh, eh, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Well, that's actually how a lot of the sounds of Abrith sound like. Ahaya, ahar, ahaya, Baruk Atah Yahuah, Adani, Tara, Yum. Right? You have these sounds. They try to mock that and make fun of that, make you think it's just ignorant, primitive, uncivilized, and all that. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with your civil. I don't like you how you're civilized. I don't agree with it. Neither does Yahuwah. Okay. So they call this ancient Hebrew. I left that on there, but obviously that's not what this is. I showed you already. This is only from the 14th century. I think we saw when we looked it up, right? Or maybe 12th century Latin. This is way more ancient than that, family. Way more ancient than that, okay?